man show up on time 1 week.
And act a ass. Don't know how to contain himself. What is this? What part of the game is this? What are we?
Welcome to this week's episode of Reals and Feels. I'm your host T Greasy with my co-host
Chanel
and our producer
C Major.
Shout out to Blue Hayes, the producer extraordinaire for sure. It's been a couple of weeks. Miss Janelle was under the weather. Plus, it was Turkey Day. It was Turkey Day, folks. Let's just keep it real. Some of us ate a lot. Some of us.
He was recovering till Sunday.
Slim, I ate so much. I tried to eat with my niece, and that was the problem. Like their metabolisms do something different, and she's of the age where I love the youngest. T-Boom, I love all of my nieces, but the youngest has a particular, especially with food, because she tries anything. She's one of those kids. She's like, "Oh, what is that?" And you explain it to her, and she's receptive, and she'll try it. She'll try anything at least once and tell you how she really feels about it. Right? You got to be ready for the really feel. You know what I'm saying? Like
she reminds me of my niece in that way.
So, we going around, we putting stuff on our plate, and she knows what she wants, and then like certain things that she couldn't really identify, T-Boom would help her out and say, well, it's this, and this in there. Do you want to try it? Whatever. So she asked me off top, you need to eat with me, Auntie. I said, you're right, I do. So we shared a seat and a little tray table, and we proceed to eat. Now her plate, being that she's youthful, got good ligaments, doesn't have to worry about anti-inflammatory diets. You know what I'm saying? Like cholesterol is probably real cute right now for her. Very starched up, very carby, cheesy, all the goodness on her shit, right? I'm trying to stay in line, but she's telling me, you got to try this. You got to try this, and you got to try this. So as I'm making my plate, I'm putting more carbs than I've put on a single plate in probably 4 months. And I didn't know what that was going to do to me. When I tell you my stomach was, I had a hard time breathing on the way home. Is what I'm saying. Like, I haven't had a Thanksgiving like that in quite some time. You know, the last year I hosted, I knew a lot of the food was staying here, so I didn't worry about eating so much the night of. And, you know, I knew we were going to have leftovers. We had a rack of food, so it wasn't a problem. But I wasn't sure how my cousin ran things at her house. She had people coming in from out of town, and I didn't want to be obnoxious with taking 4 or 5 plates home. So I kept it real cute. I ate like a monster day of. And that just for 48 hours afterwards, I was done. I was done. My stomach was tight. All of that, Miss Janelle. Breathing hot. Like Bama's couldn't even recognize. I worked Friday. Bama's ain't even know it was me. They asked me if I was okay. I'm on Teams meetings with the camera off, like,
I'm sorry. It seems like somebody invited the Crypt Keeper. Can we get Greasy on, please?
Sorry, it's me. I ate so much. Yo, my aunt's stuffing was crazy, and I'm like, my stuffing is good.
Go ahead, B. She ain't about to listen to this.
Talk your shit.
Auntie stuffing was different, yeah. It was different.
You gotta break that down slow for me, because
I know you
me and dressing.
Yeah, I know.
I need to be in the moment.
Okay. Mom makes a cornbread based stuffing, right? And I think it's just recency. You know what I'm saying? Like it's something I'm used to. So I know what I'm getting with Ma. And you know, stuffing is not really it doesn't blow up my skirt like it does you. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like, okay, I know Thanksgiving is probably the only time I'm gonna get it. So I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get some on my plate. I'm gonna pour the gravy on it. I'm gonna do my thing like you with the turkey and the greens. Put that together, get that nice bite. But I know what I'm getting with Ma's Joy. I think it's because it was new. I think this is how, like, when people cheat, they like. Excuse me. It's new dressing. It looked good in the pan. I saw other people scooping it out. I said, "Ooh, that looked kind of different than what Ma got going on." There's the moistness look good. Everything it hit all the points that I could see visually, from the visual perspective. I scooped some, put it on my plate. No gravy, because I need to see what it's working with. Just off the break. No, don't top it with nothing. I don't want unadulterated.
You went in raw.
Raw.
Mm.
When I tell you that sage was popping, Miss Jeanette, I said, "Oh, Auntie chopped this sage. She chopped this sage up. This ain't dried sage in here. No, she didn't grab this out of the seasoning ain't from 2008. Nah, this is sage that she bought from the refrigerated section and chopped up and made sure that was mixed well with whatever butter and celery and onion. Yo, when I tell you every vegetable I can identify in her dressing melted like butter upon consumption and blended so well with whatever bread. It felt like I tasted a little cornbread, but there was something else in there too. There was another toasted bread or something in it. Phenomenal. Knocked it out of the park. Knocked it out of the park. T-Boom knocked it out of the park with the greens this year. Fire. She always does her thing on the greens. My turkey was
true.
Did two of them things.
Respect.
Did two of them things this year. Did a whole turkey in the oven. I thought I was going to run out of time, but I was able to manage my time perfect. Got up at 5:00 that morning and started. Pulled them birds out the bath, dried them up, and as I looked, I said, "My oven's not set up. I need my next house gotta have 2 ovens. It's gotta have a chef's kitchen. Gotta have
2 oven, nigga.
Just for Thanksgiving. Just for one day a year. I need 2 ovens in there."
All right, Mr. Janelle, look, your face is showing me you hearing the same shit. Because let me tell you about niggas with money.
My next home, the holiday estate.
Her jaw started protruding.
Yo,
in my next home,
the holiday estate must have 2 ovens.
I will only use them on one day of the year, but for that day, it's imperative.
Super imperative. If you put me in charge of the turkeys and you telling me 20 people coming, that's a big bird. And it needs a lot of space and a lot of time. Where people fuck up their turkeys is they try to cook other shit in the oven with their turkeys. And that shit takes all the heat. And like you got that turkey.
And they're peasants with just one oven. So why are you even trying to make a turkey?
Why would you even attempt?
Oven?
I'm just saying. So luckily you both have been to the crib. You've seen the air fryer. It doubles as an oven. So I could put the turkey breast in there. It was big enough for me to put the turkey breast that I bought in there. So I had both going at the same time, but I was like, like now.
This would be better with a Viking range.
Oven. Tell me about it. A Viking double oven. Yo, I'm looking at my kitchen. I'm like, I gotta knock a wall out. Like I gotta.
Thanksgiving got you on renovation mode.
Slim. That's why I said the next house, because I'm looking at my kitchen. I'm like, the type of stove I want can't really fit in this kitchen, so it's got to be the next house. You know what I'm saying? That's all I was saying. But I mean, no.
Hey, I just get your job back in order.
Yeah.
Come on, Miss Janelle.
I want you to get that shit.
It's a 20-pound turkey. You put that in the oven.
She break it down to science to you.
My thing is, I realize I gotta limit your time talking to the homie, because when we go to get our home, if he come talking, well, baby, if I'm gonna do Thanksgiving, then I'm gonna need
he is all that bacon bread and shit. Like you know how much more you can get accomplished with 2 ovens. You just told me how he had the mac and cheese popping, he had the sweet potatoes popping. Like, yeah, he needs a double oven, and I will be talking to the homie. What? We gonna design your kitchen. By the time y'all leave here, the kitchen is designed. I'm talking about the kitchen triangle. We're gonna have all that conversation. Because the one thing I do love about our kitchen is that I have the perfect triangle. My sink I got that. That works. That works. But it would be nice, is all I'm saying. So when I pulled up the old pictures from when the house was originally, they had a double oven.
So why would they get rid of that feature?
I don't know why. The motherfuckers that owned the joint before we moved in, got rid of all of that shit. Now, granted, it was old. It was outdated. But if you
had the setup,
they had the setup.
Run that back. You gotta run that back.
Yeah. So there is a way to get that done, but I think the oven it's just.
But fuck that, you want a whole new house with the.
Because the oven I want, I don't think can fit there. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like the double oven that I saw, I need a little more square footage for that. But anyway, like I said, the turkey got demolished. Everything was delicious. It was a little tension in the house, but other than that, we was cool. Picked up the nieces on. Actually, no, I didn't. T-Boom met me at work. That was bravo. You could tell when the parents are done. You know what I'm saying? I planned this outing with my for my nieces, and T-Boom was so excited. She drove the wheels. I told her I was coming to get them. She texted me and said, "I'm on the way." Right? She texted me and Gerasmo was like, "I'm on the way now. I'm going to get them from school, so they fresh out of school. We coming straight to the house." I said, "Whoa! Nobody's there." Like,
they coming in hot.
That don't matter.
I said, "Meet me at work at least, so we can meet somewhere." So we did that. Did the exchange. My office does this thing every year where they just turn it into a playland, a fairy tale wonderland, like a holiday wonderland, and they tell all the employees, bring your kids and tear the club up. I do appreciate that for my company. They go all out, and there's shit everywhere. Like they start building shit outside. It's an ice rink for the kids. They got the elf is in the house. The Grinch is in the house. About 4 Santas, a sleigh, all types of virtual activities. They baking cookies. They got donuts on the wall. They got all types of shit. The kids just come.
We celebrating Christmas. We stealing Christmas.
Yes.
We got elves, Grinches, Pete Miser, Jack Frost.
What's that Bruce Willis movie that take place on Christmas? We on that shit. We on that shit. Like,
what's the bad guy? What's his name?
They got Hans. Hans in the party.
If I saw a Bruce Willis actor hanging from our roof with a fire hose wrapped around his waist, that would have capped it. Yeah, they really did touch on all the significant holiday movies for kids, right? All that was missing was our shit, like a little Home Alone character running around and some shit like that. And they hire actors that just, it's like a whole carnival, motherfuckers on stilts walking around, like they go all out. And the kids are just running around. It's hot chocolate stands, it's hot as apple cider stands. They ice skating, they got snow machines, it's bubble station, it's all types of shit. So I've really been wanting the girls to come and experience it. It's always been in the middle of the week though, which makes it kind of tight and logistically not worked out to where they can come. So this was the first year, and I was like, I gotta catch, especially the oldest one is getting to their preteen stage where she might soon outgrow that type of shit. So I wanted them both to experience it a little bit, or at least once, before they're like, nah, this is kiddie stuff. You know, they get to that C major. Enjoy what you got. Yeah, because when they start telling you what they don't want, it sometimes it hurts your feelings. You know what I'm saying? I'm just gonna say you're gonna feel defensive about it. But yeah, they had a great time overall. You know, it's just the kids are growing up, and our oldest is sliding into the oldest niece is sliding in the preteen stage, and it was just interesting. Yeah, my patience is top tier right now. But, you would have been very proud. We had some emergencies. I handled those well. We had some instances of them not listening, but I already knew that. I know who their mother is. I know how long it's going to take them to get up. I spent time. You can't possibly be worse than your mother at getting up and getting ready in the mornings. I spent my entire childhood with your mother watching her and mom fight to get up to go to school. So I already knew y'all inherited this shit. Like the oldest, she wasn't too bad. She got up, got showered, but she just has this thing where she just wants to walk around and just drag her feet when it comes to getting dressed. Like, and she got her new body, you know what I'm saying? So she's strutting around, like tossing her hair around, doing all the preteen shit that we did. You know, we was excited when we got our starter boobs. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm out here.
Got the June apples.
Right? Checking myself out in the mirror, all that stuff. But it just took a lot of reminders. You know, I was very patient. I said, hey, the time is coming. You know, we got to get out of here. If you want to eat before we go, I'm letting you know. I also had to set the stage for them because they are, I told you about the youngest and her wanting to be inquisitive and having a mature palate. I said, look, when you get to the office, this is your options: pizza, chicken sandwich. That's it.
Not Clams Casino.
No. No oyster Rockefeller. No charbroiled oysters. No, you know what I'm saying? It's
ceviche, nah.
No ceviche, no mussels. You know what I'm saying? You gonna get there, you gonna see cookies, hot chocolate, pizza, and chicken. So, but they did well, man. It was an excellent day. It was a long day. Went straight from there, dropped them off, and went and DJ'd a holiday party after that. Miss Janelle, I'm still sore. I don't know what made me think I could do that within 24 hours. But the holiday party is always live, and they had and that was a good time. And boy, did I sleep! I slept in yesterday. Really, really slept in yesterday. So.
I hit you with the she gonna sleep good tonight.
Yo,
they
was talking about it after. Like I had a good time at the holiday party. I'm DJing the joint. Everybody talking, oh, we going here afterwards. Like they talking about the after. You know, I'm going to this spot. They got a. I'm like, oh shit. Okay, yeah, send me that. Charles looked at me and said, we're going home.
You're going to the drugstore, get some icy hot patches. You're going to sit the fuck down.
Why are you even entertaining this shit? You going home. Yeah, you energized now. And like 5 minutes into the drive, my head was rocking. Like, nah, yeah. It was a lot, but we had a good time. Yeah. The girls, they were impressive. They were very impressive, very well behaved, very much looking at the rest of the kids like, what's wrong with y'all? I love that. I love when the kids I'm with, that's all I'm gonna say. I'm gonna keep it peaceful right there. Because some of them kids at the holiday party they was on their own thing. All right. How was y'all week, man? I feel like I've been talking forever.
Oh man.
Yeah, you go ahead, Major.
Let me see. Where do I begin? I feel like y'all asked me last time we was on the air if I had any shows coming up, and I was truthful in saying no. And then 22 hours later, my homegirl hit me up. Was like, "Hey, yo, I got this show. Can you perform with me?" And so I did that. I ended up at this venue called the Pie Shop in DC, and it's one of those double level venues. So like the bottom portion is an actual like pizza shop. And then you go up the stairs and it's got like a bar with this little stage area with a little area for a band and all that. And so shout out to my homegirl Logan. She had a feature performance at another homie Go Hard Mike Lee show. So I was able to perform a song we did together off her album. And I really enjoyed myself. Lisa was able to come out with me. Shout out to Chanelica for looking at the baby girl for us that night. And that was a dope event because I'm really fucking with the venues that are starting to be that are double purpose. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like you got that carry out style restaurant by day or through day and night, but also got something else going on in the top portion of your venue. That's how you survive in DC, especially in this area. You're gonna have to be double faceted, especially paying what I can imagine is a high number to rent those spaces. So we enjoyed ourselves thoroughly. We definitely come back. Shout out, we ran into CJ the Genesis, who just so happened to be working the lights at that venue just randomly. So it was good. Yeah, it was good running into my brother there. And then Lisa had been she'd been talking to me about this surprise she had planned for me roughly about a week from the show. And it turned out to be tickets to the Gunna show. He was at DC Anthem. That's my first time at the Anthem.
How'd you like that joint?
It wasn't bad, man. Like just even the overall area, because it's just like if I had known, if we had my money in a row, like we would have went out there, got something to eat first, or I definitely would have Ubered. That was, even though we was able to find a good parking garage not too far from the venue. But shout out to Gunna. And it was standing room, and it reminded me of our last time on. We talk about comfortable footwear because I saw what Lisa's two choices were, and she had a boot, and she said it was a short, comfortable heel, and I was like, nah. You see those little fur? She had some overly furry, like black UGG style boots. I was like, that's where you want to go. That's the route you want to go. And I get it because a Gunna show, like he's gonna come out. He came out in some weird designer athletic wear that he sweat through, but like and I saw other motherfuckers who tried to match the drip, and I'm like, you're not gonna last, because he did about a good 2.5 hours nonstop of just straight back-to-back songs. Wow. Which I forgot how many songs he had. It did get to a point where I was fanning out because he hit some of the shit from his way earlier like tapes. But it also was towards the end of the show, so my bounce levels had decreased marginally. It was right. I started off like that, then it's just right. Yeah, I feel like at one point I was just jazz hands. Knees no longer active. You're just getting eyebrow raises out of me.
And like, did you shoot your foot? You know, that's the real answer. How bad?
I did not. So I was at work crushed the following week. But Lisa still didn't like really dress appropriately. She had stockings on, but it had holes in them. So it was a very cold evening. We was able to make it through that. We talked about it. I think we are also on the same wave of if we can, it's time to start getting them seats. Even if it is a concert that maybe hype is gonna. I can see me at a Travis Scott concert sitting down now. Like I'm
100%.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong with sitting down.
You can still enjoy it the same.
And then when the dope shit comes up, you have the energy to get up for a little while.
Yeah.
While out, and then sit your ass back down.
Yeah, exactly. For the songs that maybe not your favorite,
100%.
It's hard to stand up. You're already in pain. You're gonna be standing for, like you said, 2.5 hours. That's a painful amount of time to stand on that cement. And to stand through the songs you don't really fuck with like that. I seen some babbers back in the day. They just will sit crisscross applesauce in the corner. They ain't give a fuck. Couple of them venues, I used to see them. They just took the L. They just sat down very, very nicely. Watch out! Like, go. That was dope though. Gunna show. What else? What else you do last week? Since we've been gone.
That was pretty much it. Customer gave me a questionable bottle of tequila. So we got we got the Don Julio that most are familiar with. I got a bottle of Don Ramon. I don't know if it's his uncle. I don't know if it's his cousin.
It's his cousin.
Don Tubio.
Don Bav Tubio for sure. Don El Bano. He sponsored the night for the Gunna show. What's funny is that mom.
Experimental tequila.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. You went outside?
I went outside. I went outside off the AI tequila.
Yeah, he just told like you hear like he's fighting the maturity. You know what I'm saying? Like you fighting it. You're like, oh yeah, me and Lisa decided that we probably won't stand. Like that decision was made.
But you still bottle. Sounds like a great idea.
It was I thought so. The bottle looked nice. And it came with a little gold bracelet that went around the neck of the John. So I'm like, hold up. All right, Don. All right, Ramon. Like, I see you, cousin. You got the gem at the top of the bottle. Like, all right.
That tequila is definitely Dominican.
Oh my goodness. And it was crazy is that my boss saw that bottle and she was like, she said, in what few words she could, she said, nigga, don't.
So you were warned.
And I came in the next day with the headache. She politely bought McDonald's for me. got me together.
Got your ass right. Like,
oh man,
you look like you need a fish fillet. Look like you need 20 nuggets.
Having McDonald's fish. Yeah. The question is terrible.
The crazy thing is, it was breakfast time. I don't even fuck with McDonald's breakfast, but I was like, "Give me a McGriddle, nigga!" Like,
you needed something in your belly that would fight back.
Yep,
and that is what McDonald's does.
Yeah. For sure.
You need a distraction. Your belly needed a distraction.
You needed to focus on something else.
Oh,
you trick it. When you fuck with some cheap liquor or some liquor you not really sure about, you gotta trick your stomach. Yeah, you gotta let it give it a steak sub, some wings or something that you know.
Digested that McDonald's. That show was like, focus on me.
Exactly. That's real shit. Miss Janelle, how was your week?
My week was trash. I was trying to survive.
Oh yeah.
I got some type of super bug. It just hit different. It's not a super bug. It's a regular ass bug in a 48-year-old body.
There you go.
And so I was, trying to recover. I was well taken care of, though I can't front. The family took care of me, and I didn't get the kids sick or anything. So mission was accomplished. The homie, however, did try to take me out. I can't front. He worked against me. He put on a movie called The Last Kumite, and it had Billy Blanks in it.
Oh wow!
And this is a movie that came out in 2024.
Wait a minute.
So
Billy Blanks being Tybo. What was this thing again?
Tybo. Yes. Okay. So Billy Blanks if you recall, in the 80s and 90s when he was in movies, he was doo-doo. So if you amplify, if you add 35 years, 35 pounds,
Fermented,
yo,
aged,
aged.
barrel. What kind of barrel was he aged in?
Don Ramon.
Don Ramon. We got Don Ramon, Billy Blanks in The Last Kumite. The movie was so trash.
Shit.
What the homie say? The homie said they look like they smell like panther ass.
They look like they smell like. For a nigga to look like an odor is always hilarious.
Everybody was sweaty. Everybody was old. The fighting was crazy. They had a black dreaded capoeira nigga. It was just so it was bad. So I don't know when he fell out of love and decided to forsake me with that movie. But that's what we watched. We also got back into Purple Rain. The cinematic nonsense that was.
I don't know if I've ever been tempted to revisit Purple Rain in the past 10 years.
I don't think
even with this
should.
death, I think I might have tried to watch it, but
here's the thing: the music is always going to be top tier, and what we decided to do was focus on the performances because much of it was
there you go,
the revolution and the time on stage. Apollonia 6 on stage. Shout out to Sex Shooter, always a classic.
Mm-hmm.
But the script, whoo, the acting, whoo, crazy. But yeah, I survived the cinematic attacks in my home. But it is the holiday season.
Did he look? Wait, Mr. Chef. Did he look at you? Was like, I know what's gonna get you together.
Right? I know it's gonna clear that cold up.
Well, I got a lineup. I got the right cinematic lineup for you.
Yeah.
Flush and all that right out.
Enough. Yeah. Got all the mucus going. Yeah. But it is also the holiday season, and while I'm not celebrating Christmas this year, the music remains. So New Edition performed at the Rockefeller tree lighting this week.
Mm-hmm.
And people looked stunned and astonished when Michael Bivins slid up to the microphone to set off a track. And then he was quickly followed up by Ronnie DeVoe addressing the track. And what the internet's surprise told me is that the album that we need to revisit, because I've been letting y'all know how I do.
Yep.
And I keep it old school. The album that you need to get into, the EP that you need to get into is It's Christmas All Over the World, 1985, New Edition, where in those 6 tracks, 3 of them were led by the homies in New Edition that we don't tend to hear from at the forefront.
Talk about it.
Michael Bivins and Ronnie DeVoe. If you were ever wondering why they were in the group, It's Christmas All Over the World lets you know. So get into those 6 tracks. Your algorithm is gonna be forever tainted. They're gonna be like, why are we back in 85? Your name is not Janelle. But yeah, if you want to take it back, get into that for your soul. And we've dropped our holiday song lists
many times. Yes.
Many times. But if you've ever paid attention to that, not only because you can't live off of it's not going to carry you through the 12 days of Christmas. It's only 6 songs on that EP.
Yep.
So that's not going to carry you. But in honor of the greatness of George Michael and the anniversary of his homegoing is coming up on Christmas. Get into that Last Christmas, man, because that man gave you his heart, and then the very next day you gave it away,
like
man.
what kind of you ungrateful bitch?
Yeah. So that's been strong. That's had a strong hold on me off of my Christmas list.
Mhm.
So get into those two elements. Get into that 1985 EP, It's Christmas All Over the World, New Edition, and take a little time to celebrate George Michael this holiday season.
100%. And C Major, based on your additions last year, I can't even front. Lil Saint Nick rang off at the holiday party. It rang off.
Come on.
35 and older crowd. I was surprised just how many of us was bopping to the Beach Boys. Lil Saint Nick, yeah.
Lil Saint Nick was the sleeper. Like when you dropped it, I was like, how did I let this? The harmony on that bitch.
Come on. Sound like a barbershop quartet.
Yo.
They was killing it. They was killing it, okay?
Yeah.
Yeah. The EP though, Miss Janelle. I mean, it went diamond in the Neil house. I ain't even gonna hold you. Pops had that joint mixed in right with the Whispers, Temptations, all the classics. That New Edition joint was right there every holiday season.
Yeah, but it occurred to me that the youth that might not understand.
Oh, 100%.
Why
No, they
Michael
need to.
Bivins and Ronnie DeVoe were taking the stage the way that they did at Rockefeller Center. Y'all will understand when y'all hear that EP.
I can see a couple of youths coming up to us, aunties and uncles, and saying, "Yo, what did they do?
What did they do?"
Yeah, and this is the album to play for them.
Yep.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. All right. Chanel, you got a touchy subject for us?
I do, man. I'm unserious this month because everybody on vacation. We only working a little bit. Holiday parties abound.
Yep.
So I'm not gonna bust y'all heads with real touchy shit. I'm gonna just ask y'all what quotables from movies or TV shows do y'all celebrate or do you find yourself using on the regular?
When you dropped it, I had a little bit of a brain block, so I had to talk to my wife, and she, reminded me that we had been quoting lines all week. And we literally had just said D motherfucker D. Literally, like a couple hours.
When I thought about it, I was like, I do it so much. I'll take up 45 minutes myself.
Yeah.
So that's why I said 3 to 5. But
okay. So D motherfucker D made a recent appearance within the week. Anything Boomerang, really. They eat everything on the pig from the rooter to the tutor. I've said rooter to the tutor on like numerous occasions. Yeah. And Boomerang is probably where I live the most, where I reside. Anything Eddie Murphy around that time is kind of locked into my brain. Yeah.
Slim. If I could just ride off of that real quick. Sure. Anytime I'm disappointed in anything, first the Fat Boys break up, now this.
Yeah.
Like
Boomerang was like, I was like, there's so many things in Boomerang that I quote to this day. I just told somebody, who was I talking to? And I was like, Marcus. I'm not wearing any panties. Like, it's so many quotables from that movie alone.
Yes, sir.
Between that and Coming to America, that's where I am. So, we did D motherfucker D, Rooter to the Tutor, Marcus, I'm not wearing any panties. And then from Coming to America, anything, my favorite line, one of my favorite lines, which is kind of a throwaway line at the end of the movie, is the old Jewish man telling the joke. It's one of my favorite parts. And then him filling on the coat as Akeem walks in. What is that? Is that velvet? One of my favorite lines ever. Anytime I'm filling some material, I'll just say that. So those are the keys for me. Like those are the lines that just come right up.
Oh yeah.
What's wild is piggybacking off of Coming to America and throwaway lines. I don't think I'll go a month without saying "This America, Jack."
Oh yeah, that too. Yep. And as wild as America has been,
yo,
yeah,
this America,
absolutely.
Jack. And
Yep.
I don't even think John Amos understood what he did with that line, young.
Slim. I be saying that to my foreign coworkers. My coworkers, they say something that they don't understand. I'm like, yo, this America, Jack. That's all you need to know. Why do y'all do blah blah blah? Because it's America,
it's
Jack.
America,
It
Jack.
is what it is.
All right, Major, what you got, B?
Oh, if I got to piggyback off Coming to America, because we was just talking about this at the workplace. It's been my favorite since I was a child. Fuck you. Yes. Fuck you too. That shit there. That shit lives rent free in my head.
Slim. So many quotables.
There's like a reel that's gone viral from a movie Holes, which I watch Holes on DVD back to back daily. When she was with her grandpa, I'm tired, Grandpa. Well, that's too damn bad. That's too damn bad that's every day for me. I'm sorry. I'm telling somebody that, whether it's in my household or at work, that's too damn bad. And then for the third jump, this is just jump because I use it on the game. Because whenever we ready to start the game, my homie would say push the button, and I got to go to Rush Hour, where he had the little girl beside him with the bomb on the chest, talking about, well, push the goddamn button. So yeah, those probably the main three when you drop the jump that came to my head.
Young, I realized that I need to get some more original thoughts and step up my vocab, because I quote movies and songs at all times. And
I ain't even think about the songs is a whole nother level.
Yeah.
That's a whole different thing. But like movies that I stay with, and here's the thing: if you have listened to this podcast for 6 months, you know that I live with I see how this look a trip.
Oh yeah.
And I'm gonna see it through to then you got the white girl.
Yes.
Yep. The white girl always come into play.
You gotta finish it. You can't just say, yeah, you gotta finish that trip.
Because so many things in my life, if I'm explaining it to somebody else, I see how it look a trip.
Mm-hmm.
And I do have my shirt open. And he is half naked. And then you got the white girl. Like
for the majority of our 20s, it was always the white girl. There was a white girl in the house.
In the house. So then you got the white, like it just always, as absurd as it sounds, it always made sense.
Yep. Yeah.
I'ma always give somebody I'll be a huckleberry.
I didn't even think about that.
Flat out. I'm a quote Coming to America and Boomerang till the day I die. Like that's it. It's some stuff that's just in, like you said, rooted to the tooth is always gonna be there. Coordinate. We always gonna be there.
Yep.
Like I said, like I mentioned, if I'm disappointed, first the Fat Boys break up, now this. When I get overwhelmed, it's a movie called Point of No Return with Bridget Fonda, where she was an assassin. And she says, I never did mind about the little things. When a mission went real bad, and the nigga had to come and pour acid on everybody's face.
Mm.
To show that she wasn't tripping, she said, I never did mind about the little things. So when shit is going awry, I will often say, I never did mind about the little things, and proceed to pour acid on people's face.
Goddamn.
I'd be remiss if I didn't mention Denzel, but I'm sorry, you were about to say
No. What you got from Denzel?
If I'm ever in a situation where I need somebody to explain something to me that somebody else said, tell me.
Tell me.
I will do the whole thing. Like, tell her to tell you to tell me the name of the bear. Like, yeah, that's one of the ones I go to. Overwhelmed, to your point. King Kong ain't got nothing on me. I think I used that at work recently. That was probably ill-advised. Now that I think about
Probably shouldn't have brought that to the office.
Probably shouldn't have brought that.
Shouldn't have sent that team's message, nigga.
Nah, nothing's in writing. You'll never catch it in writing. It's all verbal, and it's always with people I think are cool enough, but their faces often tell me they're not cool enough. So I have to, and I love whipping out. I love whipping out my sayings, especially to my foreign coworkers. Just to explain it, send them the clip so they can see it. Yeah. So, yeah. But I'm sorry. What were you about to say?
With Denzel, it's interesting because I will say, because different cars come into play with it, but it's always in the style of Denzel. When I need somebody to get the fuck from around here. I don't know if y'all are familiar with He Got Game, and he was going to talk to Jesus' girlfriend, and she was with a nigga, and he's like, what's that? What's that, your little Range Rover? All right, look, go get in your Range Rover. Before he proceeds to punch the homie in the throat. But I'll be like, what's that? What that's your little Benz? Okay. Go get in your little, whatever vehicle it applies to. Yeah. I get into my full Denzel mode.
Mm-hmm.
And every now and then, because me and my brother are idiots, we will just call each other with random quotes and then expect each other to finish it. And the other day, he called me and asked me what I thought about homies over hoes. And I just naturally switched on to a pimp named Slipback and was like, what is that? Something at Denny's?
Fucking slept on. God.
Oh my gosh.
Because he would call me and hit me with a quote like it's just regular conversation. And I don't know if we are in some way quizzing each other or if we just seeing what
that's just keeping you sharp. Yeah. That shit is keeping you sharp.
Yeah. So I had to add TV shows because I was like, this just happened the other day. He hit me, he's like, oh, yeah, player. What you think about homies over hoes? I was like, oh, what's that? Something at Denny's? Then I had to go through the whole.
Shout out to Durf for never letting me forget ever about Uncle Ruckus. No matter what the situation is, no matter, he could have called Gerasmo. If he hear me in the background, he's going to quote. He's going to give me an Uncle Ruckus quote.
Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Whether he just randomly starts singing.
Oh, trust them new niggas.
Black man talk about paying me. What nothing wrong with slavery. Shout out to Durf, yeah. That's my dude. That shit is yeah. That was a great.
What you got? I used the cam jump from Paid in Full interchangeable. It could be anything.
Oh, yeah.
Niggas get shot every day, B. Niggas get fired every day, B. Niggas get written up every day, B. You gonna get through that shit, so you be all right. Mm-hmm. Eat some soup or something.
Yo, that's in the crib all the time. Whatever's going on, and it's times where like the homie is like something happened to the youth them, or little one feeling away or something, and I look in his eyes and I be like, I know you want to say niggas fall every day, B, or niggas.
Right.
But he comes through with the proper shit, but our faces is like, yeah. We know what it is.
Like you telepathically telling me you want to say this to him. That's real shit. Great touchy subject, Miss Jeanette. Great one. We are flying by here, so I'm gonna skip the John news because
I don't ever give a fuck about the news.
I mean, let's talk about the news.
No, we don't have to. It's
We can do
always
a quick.
bad.
It is. I think that's part of the reason why I'm like, let's say that for last. Okay.
Yeah, man.
Well, let me see what we got here. The Clippers release Chris Paul. See, Major, you got something to say about that? They offer a vote of confidence to Tyronn Lue amid turmoil. 5-16 start. There's a couple of NBA teams that I thought were supposed to be the shit, and they wind up being super trash. The Mavs being one, and the Clippers. What's going on with the Clippers, y'all?
Absolutely terrible. And I understand it's different ownership too. So respectfully, if the old racist owner was there, I don't see that flying because he actually fucked with Chris Paul with his slave-like view of how he's positioned on his team. But honestly, when it comes to legacy, that's fucked up, man. It's fucked up. And then when you see the shit that they did, like the background shit they did to get Kawhi paid, and he didn't even put in the time or the effort that Chris Paul did for this franchise. Like, and I feel a certain way about it because Chris Paul, he was with the Rockets and I fucked with him. He almost got us over the hump. Like, I saw what Chris Paul could do to the team. I saw what he did to the Clippers because we had to go against these niggas to try to get to the Western Conference Finals. Like, and I hold him in a high regard on the all-time list too. So that's not something you do with a player like that. Like that's on the level of how they did Melo, and that's fucked up. And it comes from these narratives that they have on how they are on teams because they're competitive players, and that's that bullshit.
But what's the difference? Like, to me, because you hear, I've heard some of the narratives about Chris Paul, and it feels like if on one hand, if you have that competitive nature, if you are an asshole to your teammates, you could be Kobe, you could be Jordan, or you could be Chris Paul. It's like,
and the only thing is you don't have. My only thing I can think is you don't have the achievements to come with it.
And he punched a lot of people in the nuts.
There was a lot of nuts.
Nut punching. All right,
nut punching kind of changes things, changes how people view you.
I can dig it, but Golden State ain't about to drop Draymond. You know what I'm saying? Like, and this nigga is just a walking headline. Like, he literally is walking drama every time you get on the court. So it's like,
do we know they're not gonna pack him up at 3 a.m. and send him the fuck?
I mean, at this junction in his career, anything's possible. They got Clay the fuck out of there. But
and this is where I am with it, because there's a few people in the league, and I don't know if y'all watch like the Netflix joint that had Kevin Durant and okay. It's starting some niggas, starting 5. It's some niggas that if I watched you play too much, I feel like it's time to go home. And I want to see fellas getting comfortable leaving the game before they need to leave the game. Before they're injured out, before they're declined out, before they've been journeymaned out. I need dudes to get comfortable with saying, you know what? I did a solid 15, 16. I'm going to leave.
Can they afford to, though?
Chris Paul can, but
you're saying that. You're saying that.
My thing is, if you can't spend the last few years of your campaign getting your personality up.
That's real shit. I can't even front. That's real
because shit. Then even if you're not in the analyst space, so because everybody not gonna end up on the team. I was watching some game. They had Dirk Nowitzki, Steve Nash, Udonis Hampson. It was like 40 niggas up there. Like everybody can't be in the analyst space, but you can keep like Shaq is a personality where his endorsement's gonna keep going. Number one, because he keeps investing in all of these businesses, but he gonna keep doing commercials because he gonna stay clowning. He gonna stay doing him. Get your personality up, so at least these companies who are not gonna say you're gonna excel in your performance, and if you use this product, they'll at least keep you on because we like the way that you talk on the ad for this product. You know what I mean? At least be that cat, because like you said, Grease, I don't know what your money look like, but if you know what your money look like, you need to be able to pivot your hustle. And you an NBA nigga, you're not a CTE ass nigga. So leave before your body completely breaks, before you get shuffled out off your team in the middle of the night, before we see you going from being a 20-10 and 5 nigga to a 3 points per game nigga. Like I want cats to get, and I know for a lot of cats, basketball is all they know. This is all they've done from I'm about to say from the rooter to the tutor, goddamn. But like from the time they were a child to adulthood, they've never done anything else. But I think it's worth it to invest in people who will assist you in marketing and materializing something for yourself outside of the basketball space. Don't play until your legs are nubs because you can't.
It's sad. It looks bad. It looks sad, and it's bad. And with podcasting being a thing, it's starting to look. A lot of these athletes are shifting over to podcasts where they can't talk. And
I don't like you. I don't want to hear you.
Yeah. Yes, I get it.
I think it sucks, particularly for Chris and players of that era, because he came in an era where his vets were mid to late 30s, where a player could have that graceful bow out to where they were a 20, 10 and 5 nigga to a 16, 8 and 3 nigga to a 7, 2 and 1 nigga. But they got a chance to bow out and then just lead the game. And I think we're seeing that with a lot of our players who came in during when that was still a thing, that they're not getting that same opportunity. And that's just the change in face of the NBA. As an official unk of the game now, I don't fuck with it, but like it is what it is. Like niggas is getting the boot and these teams don't give a fuck for real.
Yeah, I don't follow the NBA the way I used to. So I was a little taken aback. And this is his last season, right? This was his last season, or was he playing?
It has nothing been announced officially. There's been like a teaser with his recent State Farm commercial about the time.
That sucks if this was supposed to be his last season. That's a terrible way to go out. You said, what was it, Mr. Janelle? It needs to be.
He was one hammy away with us, Miss Janelle. One hammy away.
If the accounting game tells me, if the payroll game, if I lock in and I can't get them numbers jumping no more,
you gotta hang up your spreadsheet.
I gotta hang up the spreadsheet. If I can't make Excel dance no more, I just gotta bow out and hope that people like me, and hope that people fuck with me enough to let me chop it up somewhere else.
To join you on your accounting podcast.
Yes. When I become an analyst, what is it? What actuaries do the analytics? Well, whoever. Either way, I just went into some nerd shit. But
you did.
But I gotta come in and be like, oh, he's gonna have a hard time with that workbook. We need
play by play. Robert's cracking open that workbook for a third time. He's gonna try to make all these macros work.
Too many errors.
Too many errors.
Too many cells with flags on them.
Yeah, his inquiries are all fucked up. Yeah.
You gotta see it for yourself in whatever industry you're in. Is what I'm saying.
This isn't part of Jive News, but Gerasmo and I just finished the Diddy doc, the 50. Did y'all watch
As
that?
did I.
Yeah.
All right, let's skip the rest of this Jive News. I meant to text y'all to see if y'all were watching it, but something told me, I was like, I feel like Miss Janelle's on it.
I felt the same way. When Lisa asked me, I was like, nah, I feel like this is gonna come up. Let's get in on this.
Yeah, man. Can I tell y'all what my perception, because we just wrapped it up last night. And the whole time I'm watching, I'm like, I knew all this stuff. I knew a lot of it. I ain't gonna say all of it. It happened in such spurts throughout me growing up, and I'm in the middle of my life that I really never pieced it all together in one story. And for me to see it all in one, told in one succinct story, I'm like, of course this all makes sense. And he's not the person we thought he was. I felt bad. I need to take my Tupac hate that I had when I was a kid. I was East Coast. I was riding for the East Coast. Unbeknownst to me, all of the different shit that was going on. And all of the ideas and my perception of shit now is just different as I'm older. And me thinking back to when I was young and the club shooting happening. And I'm like, yo, why would Diddy do that? That sounds stupid. You know what I'm saying? Like somebody who makes that kind of money has this type of public facing image. There's no way in the world this person would do that. And I just talked myself out of believing that he was capable of a lot of things, because why would you put yourself in a situation like this when you have so much to lose? It never dawned on me that the reason why someone would do that is because they felt like they were completely untouchable. And as I'm watching or rewatching these events and hearing the witnesses come forth and tell their stories, I'm like, yo, this shit is crazy. Of course, why wouldn't he? And then I'm listening to the jurors. The jurors kind of pissed me off a little bit.
The jurors pissed me off. That was weak as fuck.
It was very weak, and especially the young lady. I don't remember her name, but some of her, I didn't like how dismissive she was to a lot of the things that were mentioned. And I honestly, to me, looking back on a lot of the shit that we witnessed throughout his career, of course it looked nuts him dancing around after making the Biggie estate pay for their own. Like shit like that was just crazy. I feel differently about the whole Little Rod situation. I don't know what I didn't necessarily understand just how involved he was, but I know Little Rod was talented. I always knew that because I've seen his name in other credits. Like it wasn't just Diddy shit that he was working on. He's been involved in other things, but to hear him tell his story, I know how most people, you know, when that lawsuit was filed, I know how most people took that as a joke. I
blame his lawyer because it doesn't read well.
It doesn't.
It wasn't done well.
Yeah, it wasn't done well, but that still does not excuse the amount of jokes that was flying on timelines and his shows regarding his claims. The other gentleman that was it Kirk that was promised 25% of the company, and to hear how all of that played out at the end, I think that was masterfully done. His storytelling in particular was masterfully done. Hearing is it Kalina from Diddy Dirty Money? Hearing that story was masterfully done, because you get bits and pieces of it on your timeline. You don't really hear the whole story. So I understand exactly, after hearing her tell her story, I understand exactly the predicament that she was in. and why it would have led her to make the statement that she did. And rehearing the statement felt appropriate. It felt more appropriate than it might have appeared the first time around to me.
She was able to say nothing and something at the same time.
Exactly. Which is where I would have probably landed if I was in her shoes. I ain't even gonna front. Like having the footage of him, grabbing that footage of Diddy as he was parading around New York while telling this story.
You know that's because he didn't pay the videographer that he had following him.
Yes. Masterfully done. 50.
Sure, 50. You can have it.
Yes.
Fuck that nigga.
Yes. I don't know how you recover from this if you Diddy. I just don't know where you go after your sentencing, you know, after you complete your jail time. I don't know what you do after this comes out. I don't know if you can rebuild. I don't know what you want to do. Like, there's a lot of damage that was done by this documentary.
I hope he collapses and fails. I hope he can't recover at all.
Yeah, it's bad. It looks bad, and I don't want that to happen again. So I need him to fail. I need more people like that out of powerful positions. You know.
Yeah, if I may, two things that jumped out for me. I did not know that Suge was so interwoven. I didn't know the I'll Be Sure Suge Diddy connection. So that helped put a lot of things in perspective for me. What really jumped out to me was the fact that when Misa had Justin, she was 17.
Yep.
And Diddy was grown. Eric Sermon said with his whole chest and body,
yes,
we were just friends.
Yes.
Because I remember Eric Sermon coming out in 88. And if you was friends with Misa when she was 14, 15, and Diddy
he was very careful. He was very careful about how he said that.
Yo, she was just my friend. He did not take her from me, but
Slim.
That jumped out for me.
100%. Yes.
I remember distinctly having the conversation with my brother that it was odd to us how Diddy was running around saying Biggie was his best friend. And we were like watching Biggie in life. He didn't move like you were his. Like, he might have been yours, but you were not his.
Yes. Yes.
And the other thing, I remember the cringe that I felt watching it in real time. I think we might have talked about it. We might have been on the phone when he came dancing out of the tunnel with Sting. And I was like, this all feels very opportunistic. I think we were like, he's really about to cash out or milk this Biggie thing.
Oh, 100%. The Sean signing was nasty. Yeah. I think we had a conversation about that. How do you go sign a rapper that sounds almost identical to the one that just like, it was nasty. It was nasty work.
But the other thing too is, like, you know, I know that 50 is not being altruistic in where this is coming from, and there are many theories about why he has the hate and the vitriol for Diddy that he has. But me and the homie was watching, and I was like, this right here showed the Rico. This right here showed the interconnectedness of all of these things that were enabled by the business that he was running.
He put together the case.
I said that we just watched the Rico.
Yes.
And that was what was sad for me. But like, the jurors pissed me off. And like, we was talking, me and the homie was talking, like, the dude probably came from a time where he didn't look at that happening to women as a problem. And I can't say where he's from or what his ethnic makeup is, but there's a lot of folks who feel like if the woman is there, then it's supposed to be. But I don't understand how you can watch, and this is not even about it being a domestic violence case, but if your rationale for not giving her justice in that way was to say that she was there consensually, I have to roll that back when I see a person getting kicked, punched, and dragged back into a situation.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
If at one time she did not remain consensually, that's enough. And we saw that. And then, excuse me, Sam, on one side, though this was not a domestic violence case, okay, cool. But on the other side, you can't say that these text messages between the meant that she engaged in everything consensually either. But the jurors really pissed me off. And I don't think they understand how shitty they made themselves look.
No, she was smiling.
She was smiling.
That shit looked crazy. She has no idea what she looked like. She has that. It was incredibly tone deaf.
It seemed like she was just happy to be on TV.
Yo.
And I was like, wow.
Yeah, for sure. C Major, any takeaways or anything, any learnings?
Yeah, so because I think my introduction to Diddy was more so like right after the death of Biggie. So all of the news and stuff that I was getting prior to, so with like the whole the event that they bum rushed the jump to, and a couple of people died at, I was not aware of that at all. But hearing how he moved initially to what he put, I think he put Bad Boy in his mom's name or something like that, so he didn't have to pay out to the victims of them anymore or something like that.
That was the celebrity basketball game that he put together at that high school or auditorium somewhere in New York, where
and the footage of him walking around.
Died.
9 people died, but the footage of him just walking around with his shirt open, like it's whatever, that was very damning to me. Because I was
crazy.
Like, that was crazy.
I you know what, I gave a little bit of grace for that footage only because I don't know what you're supposed to do. If
I don't know what he knew at that moment.
Exactly. Yeah. So I gave a little bit of grace to that, and honestly, being that young, having to understand the responsibility of what your event, the accountability part of it is like, how do you? It did.
I think he immediately, like, whatever benefit of the doubt I would have given him before finding out that he put his business in his mom's name to no longer pay out to that, like that all went out the window. And like Holmes said, that pretty much was the start of him showing that side of, I don't give a fuck. It's whatever I need to do to move forward. And so, like, for them to tie everything up together, me hearing Keefe D's statement, it fucked me up on 2 different instances, because it was like, damn, you really about to rat out your nephew. But then when he explains everything that went along with it too, about the Bama not even paying him, like, it's, and for that first time this being like put out, apparently, like, that was, I feel as though that was damning evidence and news on his.
But you gotta understand, like, the Keefe D interview, or like, we might not have heard all of the audio at the time, but a lot of that was released at the, when he made the statement, when he was working with the feds, right? Part of that audio, part of the story was released to the public, and I just feel like at that time, Sean had such a powerful, he had some media control. He knows how to combat a lot of it. That was the one thing that stood out for me. I'm like, I remember the opposite narrative that was coming out. I remembered what the stories were that were coming out against that. And it, watching this documentary piece together to me that you saw him actively on the phone. I need people pull up all of Don's interviews where she's saying nice things about, like, he's consistently putting the other narrative out there when something hits the main news lines that might negatively affect him and his business. And that was the most eye-opening part. Because I'm like, yo, I'm listening to your point. I'm listening to the Keefe D shit. I'm like, all of this shit makes sense. What was it again that was out there that said, ignore this nigga? Like, it was an active push to discredit anything Keefe said. But once you lay it all out the way the documentary did, in a brilliant manner, it all makes sense. Why would you push Biggie to stay in LA when he was supposed to
no
go to
sense.
London. There's a lot of instances where both of these gentlemen should still be alive. A lot of people should still be alive.
Mm-hmm.
You know, his assistant, when she was telling her story about being kidnapped, I didn't know where the kidnapping came in until I saw the documentary. When she talked about the incident of him forcing her at gunpoint pretty much to go see about Kid Cudi. That's just crazy. How did the jurors hear that and not? I don't
And it's
understand.
cut and dry.
Yeah, I don't understand.
Bust into my room with a gun and tell me I got to go with you. That's it. That's the case. But
and I work for you.
And I work for you.
Yeah,
it's a power dynamic. But another thing, I want to know, because Eminem been campaigning against Diddy for a minute too. I want to know what all he is privy to. What I also enjoyed learning is that if Mark Curry had 40 buckets of piss surrounding him, 300 hoses, if Diddy was on fire, he is not putting any of that shit. Mark Curry hates that nigga with the fire of 1,000 suns.
Slim, he has the motivation of a nigga that like it feels like he's been waiting for the day for the right documentary to come along and truly piece all this shit together. And I think you know, in terms of taking all of these bits and pieces of different incidents, when you think about all of the incidents that Diddy's been involved in throughout his career, there's no reason why he should have been a billionaire. Nobody else does this. Nobody else that we know of. I'll put it like that, because clearly this happens, right? Like Diddy managed to skate and beat all of these cases and still be a billionaire. It makes me feel like how many others, you know, something that I saw Dr. Mark Lamont Hill say is that most people who make billions get there nefarious. Like there's no clean way to a billion.
Nope.
There's just you just can't get there clean.
At best, there's just exploitation of labor.
Exactly.
But at worst, it gets really grimy. I also believe that Diddy is in the Epstein files.
Yeah.
I also another thing that was eye-opening to me is that Craig Mack was supposed to be performing in Vegas, and that's where Suge and Pac was about to go. And because I was like, that was another thing that was really odd to me. Like, yo, for everything that Craig wasn't aesthetically, that nigga was an MC.
Yo.
And like his career just got snuffed.
I mean, Mark's got snuffed.
Yeah.
Danny Kane got snuffed. The band got anybody who had anything that went against Diddy, he pretty much made it his business to put the light out, like to try to crush or end their careers. I'm more concerned. I'm a little concerned about how many people have just been quiet.
Oh yeah.
But I also understand now a little bit more about why so many people were quiet. When you're dealing with somebody who you watching them beat this case, you watching them get away with XYZ. Yeah, I'm probably gonna be a little quiet too. I'm gonna protect mine and stay to myself. You know what I'm saying?
I thought that Babs Bunny said something pivotal when she was talking about the amount of time that they got for an attorney or whoever to look over the contract.
Slim.
And she said, my attorney said, you're going to get fame. You're not going to get any fortune. And then she said, of course I signed. And I thought about how many young people, when you hear people be like, well, you signed the contract and how did you end up in that these were children. Of course I get to be on TV. I don't hear nothing else. or I can at least get famous and I can potentially your child brain is saying I could parlay that to riches, and that happened to so many people. When people like, I never discount because fuck that. Every time I put a new app on my phone, I sign a fugazi ass contract.
Yep.
So I've never been the one to be like, how could you have done that? But like, to hear her say it, to hear her say, this is what I heard, and I still, that really captures what happens to so many. And when you think about it, you know, listening, like being an old head, listening to old shit, and I'm like, oh, this was the shit in 87, 88, 89. Oh, that nigga's only 51, 52 now. Oh, that means you was 15 when you made that.
Oh yeah.
That means you was 16 when you made that. That's why you living off of show money now. That's why you trying to still recoup that album. These are kids. And they're being told at the very least you'll be famous. And I think that's how a lot of folks got in and got, man.
One other thing I want to mention before we close this, and see, Major, if you have anything you want to add, I'll pivot to you as well. Aubrey O'Day, I felt like the documentary, first of all, whoever orchestrated the directing was phenomenal. Teasing Aubrey all the way through to the end, to the last episode, was amazing. Teasing Dawn, and then Dawn not being there, was amazing. Like, I really, like, from a cinematic perspective, as well as just reliving or rehearing some of these stories, or actually listening to new stories, was all phenomenal. I like this documentary. To me, was probably one of the best I've seen in a long time. But I've seen Aubrey O'Day in other interviews talk about Diddy. I've never seen this version of her. You could kind of see the reality of what she was reading as it was happening, and her realization of not knowing, not being certain of what might have occurred, but this person saying, I know it was you. I'm sure, I'm 100% sure I saw you in this particular situation. That floored me. That one brought me, I teared up. It was absolutely devastating to hear her read what might have happened to her. And then to be honest about, I'm not sure if this happened. I'm not sure, if it happened to me, and I'm not sure if I really want to know, if I want to remember, if I want to, you know what I'm saying? Like, that was heart-wrenching.
If I can step in before you move to
Sure.
Major, with the Aubrey thing too, what really pained me was, I remember the campaign of getting her out and the weaponization of the promiscuous white woman trope that was used against her. Because I remember thinking to myself, I don't give a fuck who she's dating or what's going on. Why is this an issue? And then knowing firsthand, just from living life, how niggas, when you like, I'm not fucking with you, turn you into the slut that's fucking with everybody else. And how that was used against her was like absolute trash. Because I remember the episode where they were breaking down why she was leaving the group. And I was like, when did you have a problem with promiscuity? Because it was death to all the haters when Little Kim was talking about where she was putting her pussy, which I think every woman has the right to do. We can talk about where we putting our pussy whenever we feel like it. But now you talk about it's a problem, and that trope was very specific. And him saying, I can't have you in my group, like you're sullying my group with your promiscuity and all. And I'm like, how the fuck do you know who she's actually fucking with? I remember that being like, huh? Because Danity Kane had some shit with him too. And I was like, why you fucking up some shit that works?
Yeah.
But that was also just really ugly. And like you were saying, how the masterful nature in which he controls narratives and knows exactly what will get people on his team. I never took issue with Aubrey. I just knew she was on her Corey Feldman shit, shouting from the rooftops about Diddy being trash. But this really put it narrowed it down. It narrowed the scope, and it was really, really awful.
Yeah, absolutely. C Major, anything to add?
Man, I mean, I guess one of the wildest, because the whole thing was a little wild. But hearing the perspective from the male escort, and
there's so much.
The engagement, the engagements from the length of time that the engagements were happening, the drugs involved, I don't one we know Diddy's not there mentally, but something's got to be on the demise physically. If the allegations, he's done a lot, and I don't know if he's gonna make it through a full lifespan. Like
it's just, I don't know. Some of the hardest drug addicts, they the ones that
right.
That shit preserved.
This nigga's liver is preserved in ecstasy. That's just crazy.
I think a lot of that shit though was he knew he couldn't satisfy Cassie sexually, and brought in help, brought in reinforcement. I believe fully that he has a micro penis or a not fully functioning penis, and he got this because the thing about it is and this is gonna sound terrible and crass, whatever, but Cassie bad 24/7.
Yeah.
She's a sexy woman, and he wanted to keep her on the team. And I think that he was introducing other people, not only for his sick gratification, but because he couldn't put it down. But that's me. Hey.
And the March 9th meetups were weird.
That's weird. Yeah, that was nasty.
That's weird nasty. Shit.
March 9th and having that type of celebration, for lack of a better word, that was crazy work. Man, I feel like there's so much. Every time y'all bring up something, or it just, I'm like, golly, like it's so much in that documentary. If anybody listening to this hasn't watched it, or refused to watch it for whatever reason, maybe it's a trigger warning.
That's
maybe
valid too.
Yeah,
you're trying to protect your peace from some things that you have experienced or are close to. That is fine. That obviously, if you feel a way, about any of the stories told, definitely protect your peace. But what I wanted us to discuss, or at least for me, the important part for me in watching this documentary was just somewhat reliving some of the stories and events from the past and looking at it with 48-year-old eyes. And after living this life and all of the things that I've learned up to this point, it was really a lot of reflection on my own perception of what things were happening, how I felt, and how I might have carried certain stories as they were coming out and caping for Diddy to a lesser, I just never would have imagined back then that it was as bad as it appears to be now with my 48-year-old ears, eyes, heart, head. It's I feel remorseful after watching it. I feel like I might I feel remorseful. I feel remorseful and sad for all parties involved. I feel awful for his children. I do. In no way, shape, or form would I ever want to be. I couldn't imagine being in that position for any of his kids. Whatever they might be battling internally or externally, it's just a bad situation all the way around. Oh, that one scene, and then I'll wrap up because we are way over. The red carpet where him, Kim, and Cassie was there, and he switched off taking pictures between him and Cassie, then moved her out the way and brought Kim. That was nuts.
Insane.
My thing is though, we had conversations, me and you, Grace. I don't know if you remember, because We know your memory is not always
trash. Yes.
yeah. But remember when I was like, oh, that's an arrangement. I was like, Kim plays her position, Cassie plays her position. Back when people were talking about, oh my gosh, I can't believe blah, blah, blah. I was like, but I didn't know the extent to where Kim was like, this is some bullshit.
Right.
But I knew that there was an arrangement.
Oh yeah.
In effect.
Yeah.
And that kind of made sense. It looked crazy. It looked nuts.
It looked nuts.
But I was like, that makes sense because they were both hip. But yeah,
absolutely.
Trash.
Super trash. All right.
Hold on, what was my man name? The R&B singer name? Was it Mark?
Mark was the rapper.
No. The nigga was that the bald nigga with the glasses?
Mark Curry, yeah.
Mark Curry. They played that song with Black Rob and Diddy. Like that shit sounded like it came from a skit when Diddy was just literally just talking about the amount of money that he put on the heads of Tupac and Suge Knight. I was like, oh, this shit can't be real. Like,
no, it's real.
Like 50's trolling. Like, y'all niggas better stop playing with me. Get niggas out of here. Put $1 million down. I'm like,
yo. It's egregious. It's kind of that realization also. Like, I want to go back and listen to some of these songs.
Listen to all of the ad libs, the talking.
All of that talking and shit, and piece it together with actual events. It's similar to and sick. The sickness is the R. Kelly situation when you go back and listen to those lyrics and you realize what he was referencing was nastiness.
Sweet Aaliyah's got it.
Yo.
And she was 12.
Him, Marvin, James, all are greats. Yeah.
But yeah, the Diddy shit, that shit was the RICO. It was the whole case.
That's the case. That's the case that the Fed should have put together. In I don't know how much of it's circumstantial. I don't know how the law works for real.
We got to tell the feds to find the vindictive nigga.
Slim.
Find the nigga that would go to the depths of hell.
You gotta find the Mark Currys of the world.
And the 50s. And the he ain't pay you either? Bet.
Yeah. So as far as entertainment goes and documentaries go, I can't stress enough how entertained I was the entire time watching it. And partially because we lived through a lot of the events that were documented or talked about in the series. It's 4 episodes. If you haven't listened to it or watched it, please go for it. Yeah, go ahead.
I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
I just gotta.
It's so much.
Yes, it's so much. But another thing that disgusted me was when he went to that bodega in Harlem and was interacting with folks.
Oh, yes.
And that dude with the jacket, you could tell that he probably makes them bitches by hand, and he gave him that jacket. And I'm like, first of all, your first step Diddy needs to be to break him off with a wad of cash for that jacket. You shouldn't let any civilian give you anything. You should have done that. But when that motherfucker got in the car and said he needed to go take a bath with steaming hot, with boiling water,
Slim.
like, I've been out with the pores for about 2 hours. Let me go and burn this off me. I said, if you weren't a piece of shit for anything, that was such piece of shit behavior when you know you've got a videographer in there capturing this shit.
That you're planning on not paying.
Right. Yo, that you're planning on not paying. But it's like, yo, we talk our little bullshit and we talk our little small scale, big money shit or whatever. But I ain't never been with my peoples and then acting like that was the dirtiest shit I ever been. Like, nigga, what? Like that shit right there.
That was nasty.
That was nasty. Full blown piece of shit work, man. That right there, it grinded my gears.
Character wise, it's a wrap. Whatever thoughts or whatever doubt I might have held, whatever last minute, little redeeming quality that I thought might have resided in his personality or in his being was pretty much wiped out with this documentary. I can't think of a redeeming quality besides the hits. You know what I'm saying? The actual art that was created from his camp, but a lot of that art belonged to somebody else. And so my last question regarding this, unless you guys think of something else, because it was a lot in that documentary. How do you feel? Because I'm gonna tell you, I haven't touched that R&B album for a little bit, but when they were playing clips of the Justin Bieber joint, I was like, man, that shit was fire.
The killer for me with that Love album was he was the worst. Diddy was the worst part
He was the
about it.
worst part of it. Yeah.
I'm like, why don't you shut the fuck up and get off of this track? It was perfect the way it was.
Yes.
What are you saying right now?
Yeah. I feel like I need to go in. I got to get to I got to shore up my Logic Pro skills, try to remove Diddy out of a lot of those songs, because that album was fire. That album was fire. And just seeing how much Little Rod played a role, because a lot of the narrative I heard was he didn't play that much of a role. But here comes the beautiful bean footage of him being 24 hours a day, and you sitting here watching that. I thought it was revealing to watch Diddy struggle during the recording of that album. I thought that was brilliant to include those clips, because I never would have thought.
Ain't yours.
Yeah. There was so much credit given to him in his ear. They were saying, we heard the rumors he can't play an instrument. But he always had this ear, the ear. He knows what sounds good. No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't. That was also something that was revealed. It's like this whole architect, this whole character, this whole hero type persona that he built for himself was all unraveled in this documentary. It was wow. Okay. Anything for the community, Miss Janelle?
I do, man. I've been talking a lot about how you can get involved if you find yourself at an impasse or you find yourself stuck and not understanding how you fit into community space. Well, as we are in the holiday season, whether it's Kwanzaa for you, whether it's Christmas, Hanukkah, Eid, whatever it is, it's the time of giving. So the story writes itself. You can find local toy drives, coat drives. It's getting cold. If your church isn't doing it, start it. If your fraternity or sorority isn't doing it, start it. Understand that in this time, children still deserve magic. If you don't want to start a toy drive, participate in one. If you can't get something new, swap with a family. If your children are older and growing out of their coats, but some folks who have younger kids, give them the things that are not worn out. But this is the time of year where community building kind of sets itself up for you to get involved. And like I said, if you're with any type of organization that claims to be for the people, not just churches, fraternities, sororities, anything. If you have a prayer circle, a crew that you get together and scrapbook with, anything, you can start and make it a tradition, if you will, but you can make this the giving season. And there's a lot of ways that you can do that. All you got to do is a quick Google search in whatever area you're in, because again, this is the time of year where you can find those connections, and then hopefully after this holiday season, continue with those connections to figure out ways to connect and build and support each other on the ground.
Thank you for that. You know what we do every year coming up there, to do just that, to bring a little joy to some people who desperately need it. Thank you. Wow, we packed it. We packed it out for y'all.
Good Lord.
I never seen numbers this big.
If you're still here, big ups to you. My goodness.
Holy smokes. YouTubers. Thanks for hanging in there. For our good people who are still listening to the audio only, thank you for hanging in there. Share.
Yeah.
You like what you hear? You're a fan of ours? You subscribed already? Share it with other people that are like-minded. Appreciate it. YouTube at Reals&Feels Pod. For those of you who are producers, you get an extra extra clip, or I don't know what this extra bit of content at the front end of the show. If you want to become a producer, you could do that by searching for Reals&Feels on Patreon and subscribing for $5 a month. Last week, since we didn't do a show, I just dropped a little music show on y'all with some R&B that I'm fucking with from 2025, 2024. There might have been a little bit older stuff there
I'll
too,
fuck
but
with that in 10 more years.
Okay. Well, if you want to, Miss Janelle, if you want to get a head start, there's some good R&B out there. Shout out to, I took I took a couple of songs I think me and C Major might have texted throughout this year about, put that on the show. C Major Division just dropped a song that is fucking fire, reminiscent of the first album.
Okay, so they recovered from that bullshit they did with JD.
I think they still working with JD and Brian Michael Cox, but this single that they dropped called "Excited" feels very much in line with that September 5th album.
Okay.
Which is a classic in my eyes. So if you have opportunity, C Major, Miss Janelle, check that out. I'm getting into the holiday spirit and listening to a lot of holiday music. To your point, Miss Janelle, the New Edition joint, fire. Coco Jones dropped something that's pretty dope. Eric Benet as well. And then I'm in my pop bag. Ariana Grande got some joints that I ain't never heard before. So I was getting into that. Then I saw a joint with Justin Bieber and Bryson Tiller. I'm like, well, the holiday music selection is pretty dope. If that's your bag, because there's so much depressing shit going on. You need something with some spirit in it, with some positivity in it. So for those of us who looking to enrich our spirits a little bit, check out some of them holiday playlists. They fire, definitely.
Oh, real quick on the community tip again, just if I could tack something on, for whoever's still listening. I have the doomsday machine in my hand. When you was talking about the music, I saw the headline that layoffs for the year top 1.1 million. If you have a hookup at your job, if your place of business or place of employment is hiring, and some people who might be in need in that way, that's another way that you can give and build your community. Pass those resumes out, be the hookup, be the reason why that interview happens. It's real out here.
Oh yeah, and we're right around the time, or maybe just past the time for some people. Year in reviews. If you get asked to do a review for, make your voice heard. Make your voice heard, whether it's positive or negative. Make your voice. You want to see change at your job. If your job is one that does not retaliate, let me put that out there, because there's a lot of caveats to that. But be the change. And I'll add that to the community tip as well. Thank you both for hanging in there with me for this long ass show. Appreciate it. C Major for joining within the 30-minute.
Within the window.
Within the window. He actually joined us for the Patreon portion this time around. Really appreciate that. Send a special thank you to my niece and my sister-in-law for allowing you this time.
I'll relay that to them.
And for the fantasy matchup, which we are matched up again for the third fucking time this season. Fuck you in advance. Okay. Fuck your team.
BTA.
This Janelle, he is crushing me. Okay. Before Sunday started, he was crushing me.
I've been crushing you since Thursday.
I'm donating money. I'm donating money
in the defense.
Fucking kicker.
Kicker dropped the dub on her ass.
Slim. My sciatica start acting up. Oh, and shout out to the kicker for the Giants. That was quality grade A blooper reel material right there.
Who was that?
I understand why Atlanta got him the fuck out of here.
Was that the cat who they cued in on his feet and his back foot hit the turf and got
turf? And the holder got a sack
Yeah, that shouldn't have
assigned
got to
to it.
me.
That
I
was
saw that.
bullshit. When it's all said and done, my man, who is probably the 5th quarterback on the fucking list, recorded a sack on his
Got it.
stats
Oh
because
my
this
goodness.
Bama couldn't kick the ball. That's craziness. Anyway, thank you all for tuning in. We'll until next time. Might be next week. Might be the week. Look, hey,
It's
we
a
gotta take
toss-up
care of
at this
ourselves.
point.
Yeah, absolutely. But thank you for tuning in. We appreciate you as always. Check out the R&B show I posted. It's pretty dope. I think you might enjoy it. Patreon at Reals&Feels.